to the Crimson Engine. My name is 𝙍𝙁𝙄𝙄𝙀. Today we are talking about lenses. Specifically the difference between this $500 Rokinon DS and this $3,500 Sigma Cine lens. They both have gears, they are both T1.5, and optically they are similar. They're not exactly the same. Obviously the more expensive lens has a nicer bokeh, it has less fringing, it has less chromatic aberration, it has nicer colors. But is that difference worth $3,000? Most people would say no. Most people would go out and buy this lens or a whole set of these lenses for the cost of a single professional cine lens and think they really got away with something. I used to think this way too. I own quite a few of these lenses, but you need to know that relying on these to shoot your film can get you into a lot of trouble. The reason is that this isn't a cine lens. This is a stills lens with gears on it, just printed into the plastic of the focus and iris. So you can pull focus with a follow focus on it. You can change the iris and the focus, but you're very quickly going to run into a problem. Now, some people love these lenses. They have shot films with these lenses. The 85 in particular, I've used a bunch. And for a reason we'll get into in a second, the 85 works quite well. I have seen a heap of reviews of these lenses on YouTube, specifically comparing them optically to the more expensive Rokinon Zines. And a lot of people conclude that there's not much difference, that you get for the $400 or $500 lens, you get 95% the quality of the $3,000 lens. And that is true. They are optically very similar. The other lenses are just rehoused. And you may think, well, that's just cosmetic. This has just got a bigger, the Sigma or the Zine just has a bigger body. The front element is of a similar size. What's the difference? Well, you have to look on the focus marks here on the side. This is 1 meter or 2.6 feet. And then this is infinity. So the difference between 1 meter and infinity is maybe 5 degrees of movement. Let's have a look at the professional cine lens. Here's 2.5 feet, 2.6 feet. Here's 3 feet, 3.6, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, 30 feet, 90 feet, and infinity. And it goes past infinity, strangely. Obviously, people who make lenses know what lies beyond the edge of the universe. So why is this going to get you into trouble? Well, if you're shooting something that's closer than a meter, that's between 0.85 feet and 2.6 feet, you're fine. You actually have quite a bit of barrel travel for that. So you're able to focus your lens on that subject. But if you're shooting things further away than 2.5 feet, which is the length of my arm, you are going to have less than a gear's travel between, it's going to be like a micro movement in focus between 20 feet and 25 feet. So if you have a person walking through a room and your poor focus puller is trying to, or heaven forbid, the operator is trying to pull focus on that person at, you know, a typical f-stop for cinema like T2, it's almost impossible to do because the movement between 1 meter or 10 feet and 20 feet is that. Between 20 feet and 40 feet is that. And you just can't track with someone, which is something you're really called on to do a lot in cinema with these kinds of lenses. Compare that to the Sigma Cine lens. You know, someone walks from 10 feet to 12 feet to 15 feet to 20 feet. You've got the same amount of movement on the gear as you do on the Rokinon or the Samyang or whatever brand you sell these on, as you do between 2 feet and 1,000,000 feet or the horizon. Now, I'm not just picking on Rokinon lenses. A lot of people are getting Sigma lenses or Canon lenses and putting focus gears on them. There's even some cool 3D printed ones you can get that slide right on, and saying, oh, I'm going to use these as my cine lenses. If you're not pulling focus, that is fine. If you just, the 85 works great, or you're just shooting a locked off exterior, but don't expect to be able to actually use these gears to pull focus on your subject because it's just not physically possible. Now, I, for one, am all for finding the hacks and exploits in the film industry when it comes to gear and finding stuff that can do the job much cheaper than conventional solutions. But just putting plastic gears on a stills lens doesn't make it a cine lens. Just like putting a matte box on a DSLR doesn't make it a cinema camera. If you want to use these lenses on a film set, then you have to stay in this ratio where there still is a lot of focus throw. So for this 24mm, that's under 2.5 feet, which is going to be hard. I've actually got quite a lot of use out of the 85 because I set it to minimum focal distance and just use it for my close-ups. But if I have to be honest with myself, I should have got a 85mm stills lens, even the Rokinon version of it, and I would have also had autofocus. These take autofocus away, but don't give you the extended focus throw of a real cine lens. I guess the lesson here is to look past the thing that everyone looks at, optical quality, and look at actual usability. How are you going to use a geared cine lens? Almost certainly you're going to have to use it to pull focus. And if you're not able to do that, it is actually going to end up costing you more money and more time on set as you go into take 4, 5, 6, 7 than it would if you just bought or rented professional cine lenses to start with. Thank you very much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. There are thousands of classes which cover things like cinematography, directing, audio production, and lots more. I have a course on Skillshare about how to film yourself, which I really recommend. Matt Workman also has one about awesome studio lighting that actually taught me a lot about how big sources work and how to light a studio with a large source so that your talent is lit from one side to the other. You don't constantly have to keep moving your sources as your talent moves around, which gives actors a lot more freedom and results in better performances. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get 1 free month of Skillshare. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. The Rokinon cine lenses are by no means bad lenses. For the money, they actually give a really excellent image. It's just when it comes to usability, they're limited by the fact that they are just stills lenses with gears on them. Thank you very much for watching. Check out the links in the description. I've been posting more stuff to Instagram, so check it out there, and I will see you next time.